going into, whoa. So right now I'm currently installing an instrument cluster for the street bike ATV. And this instrument cluster is off of eBay, so super cheap. Actually have been waiting a really long time to put it on because it wasn't a direct plug and play. Basically the connectors that came with it are different sizes than what my bike runs, or what the street bike used to run before the street bike engine was put on this ATV. So basically what I want to focus on is, like, if you were to run into this, how would you figure out what pin does what, so that you can wire it into the bike and figure out how to get it going without spending a bunch of money on a nice perfect fit harness, but still get a digital display and get something nicer to look at for the speedometer, RPMs, what gear you're in, all that fun stuff. So yeah, let me show you what's going on here. So this is the instrument cluster that I have. This thing was really cheap. I forget the exact price, but under 50 bucks. I mean, very cheap for an instrument cluster. Now, on the back side here, all your wiring comes out, and you have you have a 9-pin and a 6-pin harness here, and then a 3-pin. The 3-pin, put to the side, very self-explanatory if you buy one of these. The 3-pin goes to a speed sensor, and so that is something that the speed sensor you need to hook up on the bike. So this 9-pin, I pulled out some of the wires because I was testing them. But basically, first things first, you need to figure out what is your power wire, your negative wire, and your ignition wire. So in my case, which most will be the same, a lot of this stuff is universal coloring when you're buying from China. So green is the negative. Red is the constant 12-volt supply, and black is the ignition. So that's what tells the unit to turn on and off, and the red stays constant power, so it can remember what time it is. So when I am testing this here on the quad, I hook up this to negative, and I hook up both of these to positive, my red and my black. So quick demonstration, let me show you here. So here we go, green to negative, black to positive, and you have the you have both of those touching. Those are both power supplies. You can actually, on mine, run just the black, and it'll power up the unit, so you can test this. So that gives us power. There she is. So that'll turn it on and off. Then what you do is you fiddle with the wires. At first you're kind of worried because you don't want something to short out, but let me show you what I mean. So let me find a place for this. High quality videos here, people, just for you. So what I'm doing right now is I'm taking a positive wire and I'm bringing it over to these other terminals to see what terminal does what. But so I just put it into my 9-pin wire, and I touched, in my case, oopsies. In my case, I am touching the baby blue wire. Right turn signal. High beam, left turn signal. Now, some wires, you will not be using the positive wire to test for it. You'll take the negative wire. So then, if you take your negative wire, reverse, drive, and I forget what this one does, but just to carry on here, gear 3, gear 4, second, fifth, first, and neutral. That was all tested with a negative wire going into, whoa. Like I said, not a professional. Oh gosh, the positive and the negative just started arcing off each other. Let's disconnect these. So basically, when you're testing this, be very careful. You can mess up your unit. What I did just there is not the brightest. The positive and negative wire just started arcing out. But basically what I did to figure this out, I don't know if it's right or not, but this 6-pin wire, took the negative and touched it to each one of these pins while the unit was turned on, and as I did so, it then illuminated on the screen, which does what? The 9-pin wire, some of these I had to check with the positive touching each pin, some of them I had to touch with the negative. So as I went through, I continued to write down which wire did what, made a list, and now I can move forward with pulling. And what I'm going to do personally is pull all these pins from these clips, because they don't help me. They don't hook up to this bike. So in my case, I've got a Yamaha Blaster ATV with a Yamaha XJ600, also known as the Yamaha Seika engine in the center. So now I'm going to go ahead and hook up this cluster up on the handlebars, so I have a speedometer, RPM monitor. I can know when my high beams, just lights in general are on and off. Quick, easy dash to display everything. So there you have it. Be careful, click through them, save yourself some money, and then get it wired in. I would highly suggest getting a male and female plug, wiring one side to the harness of the bike and the other to your speedometer, so you can easily remove it, so it's not a big deal when you want to take this on and off or work on it, maintenance, all that stuff. So yeah, there you have it. Ask questions if you have any. If I can help, I will. I'm not professional by any means, obviously, but I like to figure out how to do things on my own, including build bikes and stuff like this. So anyways, yeah, ask away. I'll try to answer what I can.